And you know what? This person saying, I'm reactive. Like I can identify with that's my go-to response. That's okay. Sometimes when we notice our patterns, then there's almost this secondary voice that wants to come in and be like, and that's wrong. Um, I'm a bad person for doing that or feeling that way. That's a judgment about a pattern. And if we can see the pattern, remember we have to be bigger than the pattern. So it's okay to be honest with ourselves about these are things that are present for me. The fact that you even care enough to attend a class like this means you care enough to work on it, and we're all capable of change. A lot of this skill goes into changing. So this isn't a one and done either. Like we were saying last time, I mean, it's messy and awkward when you're working on changing a very habitual pattern. I know for me, as I've moved from people pleasing and just being like almost silent about needs or saying what's true for me to being more assertive, there have been some very messy conversations that were just like explosive on my end, what I call exorcist moments. Because I've shut it, like a pattern had shut it down for so long, when I finally would say what was true, it was like over the top aggressive. And I can see now that like that was a less skilled version of me trying to get my needs met. And maybe it wasn't a perfect example, but I'm still really proud of that version of me for trying, moving into something different. And sometimes, if we have been really reactive to someone, maybe we need to apologize, and come back to them in a moment when we're not a 10 out of 10 angry and say, okay, I've had a moment to think about that. You didn't deserve to be yelled at. I apologize for that. I could have handled that in a different way, and be open to hearing how it maybe made them feel, and not make ourselves wrong or bad for having that reaction, if that makes sense. That maybe seems like two opposite things, but they can exist at the same time, because it's also a pattern that is judging our own responses to things and then telling us if it's good or bad.